How do? We're going to talk today about narcissism, in particular spiritual narcissism. What do narcissists do? Narcissists love to control people, they love to manipulate people, they love to make fun of people, they love to deride people, they actually suck up energy of other people, yeah, based upon their own self-inflated, grandiose sense of self. Okay. You ask the question, how could that possibly exist within spiritual communities, New Age religions, etc.? How could it exist? Well, the thing is, it does exist, yeah, because many people who consider themselves to be old souls are sensitives who have withdrawn from mainstream society, yeah, find refuge in these groups, and these groups can be an immense source of support and nourishment and belonging, okay? But within these groups, there can be people who, they're the same people that you find in schools, in ordinary institutions. There's nothing special about a spiritual community. It's just a community in its own self. And because of the wound that exists in sensitives and empaths, you become easier to control. Because of your sense of empathy, caring, affability, your crisis, you become easier to control. So, in fact, these spiritual communities and New Age religions actually are thriving for these kind of people because you're easy meat, basically. So if you come across anybody in these spiritual communities, these New Age communities, these centres, whatever, even on platforms on social media, that present themselves in a way which is self-aggrandized, where they talk about ordinary, let's call them ordinary, I don't want to be disrespectful at all, that talk about people in disrespectful ways, yeah, based upon some sort of ascended conceptual awareness, of high vibrational awareness, or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7D awareness, yeah, then that is the red flag time. Okay, listen, higher awareness and consciousness, yeah, cosmic awareness, yeah, and the experience of God, the experience of the I am, yeah, only leads to compassion, forgiveness, and humility. Do you understand me? So choose your words carefully. Be respectful, be compassionate. Do you think that your guides, angels, ascended masters, archangels, seraphim, oraphim, Pleiadian, Antarian, Arcturian people, entities, do you think that they would stand 1 minute for a grandiose sense of self, a sense of self which is separate from the mainstream of society, which need spiritual leaders to come down to a very basic feet level to engage, inspire, connect and bring with, based upon real, honest, real living? So I challenge you to take your multidimensional concepts, where words sometimes fail you, and try to linearize them and make them simple and real enough for your friends and family to understand. So when we consider, see, this is the trap with ascended consciousness and high vibrational awareness, like you've left behind somebody and you can look down on the rest of society and go, I'm beyond them, I've left them behind. Listen, real mastership is about integrated consciousness. It's about getting your shit together, okay? And it's about humility. The Trinity, in my opinion, the Trinity of holiness is higher thinking, heartful giving, and simple living. Simple living is the feet. That would be Jesus Christ washing the feet of a prostitute. Heartful giving is you being involved in your family, community and society, getting involved and being a leader and showing the way from the heart. Okay? And higher thinking is, how can I expand my awareness? How can I become aware of my shadow? How can I refine my negative personality attributes? Yeah? It comes through self-forgiveness and compassion. So why on earth would people in those communities be completely hypocritical and talk about ordinary folk like there's something wrong with them or how much better they are than them? Okay? I think that's about all I've got to say today. So, stay compassionate, stay grounded, stay real. Get involved with ordinary structures in your local community. Stay real. That's why, I found that through my family. So my kids, in my house, my wife and kids, they keep me honest and they keep me real. I've got a lot of involvement in the local community. I'm a community worker, I've been for a long time, and I engage myself also through sports and team activities with children. See, this is another aspect as I'm going to continue to talk now. Like sometimes in these communities, like there can be almost a derision or like there's something wrong with competitive activities. There's not. I've learned so much from competitive activities that have been structured properly. I've learned to engage life. I've learned to, it doesn't mean I have to be a twat about it. I know I like competition, but my higher awareness allows me to transcend that. But also, as you start to do a lot more self-healing, as I've started to do more self-healing, there's been an increased capacity for myself to be grounded. Because in reality, it's a polarity. If you're just all about higher awareness, you're going to burn up, burn out and freak out. And this is why the masters in the disciplines live the most simple of lives. They are very aware of their opinions, and sometimes it's best to say nothing at all. But in this case, I felt that there was obviously something really important to say. And just to finish it off, I'll just give you a paradigm that explains this really well from Osho Zen, who's a master, a fantastic master. And he talks about the Zorba Buddha. Okay, you've got the Buddha, who obviously is the master of enlightenment, yeah, who is detached from society, who's mastered his own desires and sits alone. Okay, now that is only half of the coin in terms of operating as a spiritual person in Western society. The other half is Zorba the Greek. If you've ever seen the film, watch it. Zorba is the family man, the community man. He likes to drink, he's a businessman, he's wild, he's passionate, he is completely alive and embraces materialism, embraces life. He's lived a life and he's lived it to the fullest. So when we bring the two together, we have Zorba the Buddha. Zorba is created out of the stone of the Buddha. So it's a polarity of being able to isolate yourself from society and create space for yourself to be able to reflect and heal yourself and gain clarity, but at the same time standing up to reality and getting out there and getting involved and being fun and being inspirational to everybody, as many people as you can gather along the way. Because he explains, Osho, that there is an illness in spirituality which is sickly sweet, which is just based upon that new age unicorn loving tie-dye, all that is beautiful and lovely and nourishing, but too much of that, and that is out of balance, creates a spiritual sickness which has no fucking balls to it. You gotta have balls. Yeah, you gotta have the balls, the potency to get out there and do your shit and stand up and take life on fully. Yeah? As well as having the breasts to be able to nourish those who you love. The feminine concepts. Yeah? And also the self-nourishment concepts of the Buddha. Bring the two together, we're cooking on gas. I hope what I've said today has some sort of impact. either positive or negative. I don't give a toss, to be honest with you. I'm getting it out there. Stay cool, stay calm, stay collective, and take life full on. All the best. See you later.